Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
Thank you for making us your number one choice for sports talk in North Alabama.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Hello and welcome indeed. John Abraham alongside Joe Hunk here on the Morning Blitz, aka now it's just the Blitz. And we've got a lot of fun things to get into today because we are back and better than ever. Except for I have it on the wrong camera. So Joe, on the Blitz, it's just nothing for you. So I'll make a quick switch on that. But Joe,
I appreciate that.
We got a new studio.
No, we absolutely have a new studio, and we're all trying to figure out everything that's going on. And I'll be straight. We didn't do a test run at all. I think Talking Ball was a test run.
Look, it was the test run, and let me switch this camera real quick so we can see your beautiful face.
I don't know about beautiful, but yeah.
I think we got it now.
You got it rolling?
I got it now. Yeah.
Okay.
You're a little off to the side, but that's okay because we get these new cameras.
We have brand new equipment everywhere. So our very last show was on Friday of last week. And since that Friday, we have spent every single waking moment trying to get this studio ready to go for today. We wanted to have it for yesterday, but we just, we just have an extra day of trying to get everything together. And John and myself and Scott spent a lot of time up in the roof, and and Brian was helping us get everything set up for these cameras that we have, all these webcams that are going on, and everything's doing what they're doing right now. It's been kind of a little bit of a hectic time. In fact, if you ever have one of those days whenever like you spend the entire weekend just working and you go, man, you know what we need to do? I need to have like 48 hours of just sleep. Like I need to go and do whatever helps me go to sleep and then just do that for like 72 hours.
You really think they would let us do that? You really?
I never said they were going to let us do it. I'm just saying that is what we want to do. That would be a very fun and ideal thing.
Fun
on a day like today.
Hey, you're saying this isn't? Are you saying this isn't fun?
No, I'm not saying this isn't fun. I'm just saying after the last 7 times 24 is what? Like 96? No, that's not even 96.
78 hours. 3 days.
I'm doing the math in my head right now. 7 times 24. The last 168 hours has been kind of hectic.
Well, yeah. I mean, we haven't worked. Well, we haven't done the show since Friday of last week. So we've been working nonstop here at the new studio since Sunday, even prior to that. And on top of that, I created 2 desks that look absolutely beautiful. And that was just the beginning of it. All
right?
I
have a question.
What?
How long did it take you to build those desks?
So I had to go back and forth a few times because I had to also get your drill. I was able to actually work pretty well with it until I got to the legs. And then that's whenever it was like, oh, I'm going to start causing these problems. So what I had to do was I had to go get your drill. I appreciate that because that drill has been like my best friend for the last week.
Yeah.
And knock those things out. And it said that it'll probably take me 140 minutes. It took me about 3 hours, so a little bit over 140 minutes.
The only reason I asked is because any social media posts about what's going on at the radio station, that's been John that has been posting those. So in the videos and that sort of thing that you've seen, the reason that you're seeing it is because John's the one that's been putting it up. The problem is that he's put up 2 or 3 different videos of him building a desk, and those videos have been separated by like 4 days. And so I'm wondering did it take you 4 days to build this thing?
I was wearing the same shirt, Joe.
It doesn't
know
matter.
that happened in the same
Look,
day.
man, it doesn't matter. Okay. Whenever you're building something, you might be like, hey, man, who has grass cutting shoes? I have grass cutting shoes. So all I do is I wear the same shoes every single time I go out to cut grass. You may have had your bench building clothes.
No.
I don't know.
I do have workout pants, though, that I do wear every single day. Regardless of that, I also have a roofing company that does the amazing job of fixing up my roof, which is Fleming Roofing and Restoration. The guys you need to talk about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com. And remember that Fleming always shows up. That's my first ad read I've got to do in the new studio, even though this little area for me, doing the Talking Ball show, amazing. Wonderful. I can kick back. I can make sure everything's good. But I will say everything's a little bit too separated. It's too big in here.
Look, I know that you've been used to that extremely tiny studio and control room that we've been in for, 5 years. Okay, there's been a lot that took place in that studio.
It's a mess.
Now the studio that in the control room that you are currently in, that is a control room that you would see in Atlanta.
I would say NASA.
Like national.
I would say NASA. It's a control room.
NASA. Do you believe that the people that landed the Apollo 13? Well, they didn't land. It kind of crashed in the ocean. But you think that they lived? I can say that. Okay. Do you think that they would need a little bit smaller or bigger studio? Because the wires that are behind you right now that you're watching on WZZN TV look like the wires that would be needed to try to land a plane.
They would need it to be a little bit bigger. But regardless of that, if you put a few chairs in here, we got this little TV up here to show the actual liftoff. That right there, that's the TV for it. All right.
Yeah.
Did I just get a little bit louder? I'm trying to.
No, you did in my ears, and because look, this isn't a 100% finished product. Okay, it's just not. We've got banners that are up right now that are eventually going to be replaced by really awesome murals.
Do you want me to show them the entire room? I can. We got the camera for it.
Oh yeah, no, you do have the camera for it. Absolutely in there. As a matter of fact, if we just do this right here, go to this one shot. This is the current studio. If you're watching on WZZN TV, this is kind of the look of what the studio is at the moment. And obviously there's still a lot of work to be done that we've been going with, because we, even though we have literally been here, a lot of things, here's what happens. And I'm jumping around because this is what's had to happen. And this is how our mind works. Do you realize how long it takes to build a studio when you have about 6 people that all have ADHD? Every one of them. Yesterday, Steve wanted to go to UAH to set up the equipment for the basketball game so that he was good to go for last night's game. He had to ask me 6 times because every single time I would go to get the bag out of my car, I would get sidetracked with 5 different tasks. And eventually I just said, hey, when you're leaving, just tell me, I'll go down there with you. I just eventually had to say that because we were putting up cameras, we're putting up televisions. Look, John and I now are master carpenters, as well as we can now hang televisions. We've done that 3 different times around here. We actually now also know how to wire a radio studio as well as the internet. And this is the cool part, because I can't show you this on TV. I can't show this to you through the radio, but we have a tiny clubhouse underneath the desk right now. I spent half the day underneath that desk last night.
You're talking about the little this little cave that we got.
Yes,
that is a wonderful area.
Right there, it is big enough. Look, when I was,
it's a 4-star hotel.
My very first house that I ever remember. Okay, and if you're listening in New Hope right now, I'm going to give you some streets. It was on Old Gurley Pike, right behind the Dots Dairy Den. You've heard a lot about the Dots Dairy Den, okay?
I know about that.
All right, so inside of that house, I had a waterbed. Now, it was 1980s and 1990s, okay? So waterbeds were still a thing. And so behind that waterbed, you had like the little bookshelf that was at the top of the waterbed. And what it did is it created a little cubby underneath it, and that was my little clubhouse. Growing up as a little kid, I would slide back there, and what I did was I moved the bookshelf directly beside my bed, so it was like I had a little tunnel that I had to go through just to get to this thing. So that's what I was doing. All right,
pretty cool. super cool.
I say that because I would go hide in that thing. I would bring toys down there. I would have my little Ninja Turtles and my Ghostbusters, and they would all be down there. And we'd be like in the dark, because this is also going to be relevant now. If you play Ghostbusters, the new game, Ghostbusters Spirits, the Boogeyman was going to come out, because the Boogeyman's now being put on the game.
I don't think anybody plays that game, Joe.
Oh, you shut your mouth. There's a lot of people that play that game.
Okay.
So the Boogeyman's going there, and I'm having all my little wars and battles with ghosts and turtles. Okay. I literally had flashbacks of all of that while I was underneath that table yesterday. I could have fallen asleep down there. In fact, if there's ever a time where I'm having to stay in this studio and do stuff and I need to take a nap, I will do so in that cubby.
I feel like out of all of the places that you could fall asleep, Joe, I feel like this is probably the worst place you could fall asleep, because
of all the electrical equipment.
if you roll over the wrong way and you're on the wrong side of the bed or the water mattress, you're gonna rip us off the air. Because I think we did that once.
yesterday.
Yeah, we did
that one time yesterday. Yeah, no, I did. No,
but
I did.
Joe, I will say this: it's good to be back. It's good to be doing a show with you. It's going to take us a little bit of time, because this is a different type of show compared to all of the other shows. All right.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, we got a host over here, a host over there. This is a totally different type of thing. This isn't the Tom Abraham show where you're just going to be running Tom's show and then just also talking in the meantime. This is a show where we don't have enough people to actually run the show. All right.
Well,
So that's fine.
And so we're going to be moving back and forth, but that doesn't mean that your phone calls are not there and that you can't call in. 256-576
Boy,
977, what can get you in on the Blitz. Now, coming up in a few minutes, Drew DeArmond's going to be joining us, because look, it's been a week of us of a lot of things that have happened, and so we're going to talk to him about what's going to be happening this weekend. Alabama's playing, Auburn's playing, Tennessee's playing. You got all of those games that are happening, and in fact, a lot of those are going to be happening not just on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, but also ESPN Winchester.
yes, sir.
And coming up in the 10 o'clock hour, I have created a rundown of everything that is of importance that has happened since John and I did the show last.
I don't think you've got it all, though, Joe.
I don't have it all.
You don't have
because
it all.
There may have been a few things that kind of fell in that I just went, people in Huntsville don't care about that. People in Winchester don't care about that.
Look, Huntsville is one of those places. It's like a hot pot. It's got a lot of different types of people involved. Hockey lovers, we got basketball lovers, we got football lovers, we got NASCAR lovers. Shout out to
There's an S on that? There's an S?
Daytona 500 coming up. And then on top of that, I do want to hop into a little bit of the NFL honors. Of course, we talked about a little bit on our last or second to last show we did.
Dude, that was like a month ago.
It feels like it at this point. But actually, Fox Sports jumped in and threw out their winners for the most valuable player, offensive rookie of the year, defensive, all of that good stuff. And I want to look at these and then compare them to what we're going to get with Snoop Dogg on the 4th of February. So that's going to be very exciting. And on top of that, Drew DeArmond's going to help us talk about why he wants a gong.
Wait, why does he want a gong?
Because I think it'd be really cool. Just scrap the whole chalkboard idea. Gong.
Yeah, we
right
had
in the middle.
We had a chalkboard idea because John's kind of an artist. And so what we were going to do is we were going to get a chalkboard and we were going to flash back to our middle school days, where you're sitting there with the chalkboard or the and they would say, "Does anybody clean the chalkboard?" And all the guys would be like, "Yeah, I do."
That's the one
Like,
thing
remember that?
I'm glad we're not going to have to do now.
So we were going to have this chalkboard where John could draw on it, and then we could totally erase it, clean it, and then put other stuff up on it. But instead we figured, okay, that's going to be a little bit too much work. So we were coming up with other ideas of everything. So the studio's not 100% done. This is not the final image of what this is going to be.
No.
But as far as what you get now, there has been a lot of things that have been purchased to help your experience with listening to 97.7 ESPN The Zone, as well as ESPN Winchester. We have gotten better cameras. We have better equipment. We have better computers. We actually have bigger televisions in the studio so that we can have things.
We can play video
and
games on those.
Yeah, we actually can.
If we got free
And so,
time.
we have, this brand new desk that was built for us by one of the listeners, and he was absolutely tremendous in doing this. we have all this stuff that we've got, which is also going to turn into the fact that you can hear the Huntsville Havoc play this weekend, and it's going to sound even better. The Chargers owned last night with the men's team. The number, now I totally said that wrong. The number 4 team in the country, I should actually say, the UAH team, basketball team, winning yet again at Spraggins Hall and UAH. All of that is to make this a better experience even for you. So we appreciate everybody that has been calling and texting and messaging us asking like, okay, did you guys get fired? Because that kind of is what happens. You just turn on the radio one day, shut your mouth. You just kind of turn the radio on one day and the person you love is just no longer there. That wasn't the case with us. Okay. We were actually all doing this to build this up, to make it a little bit more awesome for you as well, so that you can have it. Because look, let's be straight. 97.7 ESPN The Zone's kind of the only real sports talk station in the market, as well as probably even in South Tennessee with ESPN Winchester. We're trying to make this where you're getting the experience that you need and what you deserve. That's exactly what we're doing. So when we come back, Trudy Armand of Talking Ball is going to be joining us as well. You can watch on WZZN TV, listen on ESPN Winchester, and everywhere. No matter where you are, you can always enjoy the Blitz, courtesy of Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia if you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
Auburn basketball coach Bruce Pearl has a challenge for you.
Be an MVP to a child in need by opening your heart, opening your home, and becoming a foster or adoptive parent in Alabama. I know so many folks that are. They tell me it's one of the greatest things they've ever done.
To learn more about becoming a foster or adoptive parent, visit dhr.alabama.gov. That's dhr.alabama.gov. Sponsored by the Alabama Department of Human Resources, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
There are many adults in Alabama who cannot take care of themselves. Some of them need foster homes. The Alabama Department of Human Resources has a critical need for caring men and women to provide safe and supportive homes for vulnerable adults. Make a difference in someone's life. Be an adult foster care provider because love never ages. For more information, visit dhr.alabama.gov/AFC. Sponsored by the Alabama Department of Human Resources, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
football season, and Bad Daddy's Burger Bar. The perfect combination of good times and great food. This season, score big with one of our chef-inspired expressions of pure burger amazingness. Our delicious burgers are made with premium Angus beef, and you can pair it with one of our signature cocktails or a cold craft beer from our huge selection. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar on the Parkway in Huntsville and our new location at Cliff Farm, Highway 72 in Madison.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. Scattered showers will be possible for this Thursday night. Low temperatures going to be falling into the upper 50s for the overnight. We could also potentially see wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. Heading into our Friday, scattered showers and a few thunderstorms going to be possible. High temperatures topping out in the low 60s for the day. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
I'll roll up, shorty, I'll roll up, it's your anniversary, isn't it?
Hello, and welcome back into the Morning Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk, and of course, Rudy Arman every Friday, presented by Mercury Motors and Alumni All. Welcome back into the show as I think we're getting stuff set up over on the streaming side of things. But on the other side of things, everything should be perfect. We appreciate you guys hopping in, joining us as we return after our week of fixing up this new studio. And Drew, one thing stayed constant, and that's Alabama basketball, not just the Crimson Tide, but Auburn as well, continuing their winning ways. Talk a little bit about what had to happen for that to be the case, though.
Since we last week, Auburn, they had College Game Day in town, and they were trampling, stanchions and people over there. It was a lot of enthusiasm over on the plains. And again, I'm not throwing shade. I'm just watching video. I mean, they were trampling people, but they were super excited to have, the epicenter of college basketball, ESPN, on their campus. It ended up, the game lived up to the pomp and the circumstance. Now, was it aesthetically pretty? No, but it was an outstanding college basketball game. Jonai Broome came back. I was a small bit surprised only because we had Brian Matthews on during the week, and he said 50-50 and that he was leaning toward he would play, but I'd also heard he wouldn't. And, when he first got injured, I thought 2 weeks. So I had kind of targeted that Tennessee game, but I also thought Auburn might err on the side of caution. And they had played well without him. But they brought Jonai back. He did not start, but he played, 30-plus minutes in the game, made the biggest two plays in the game, forcing the turnover, whether you think it was a foul or he grabbed the guy or not. Though, if people forget, though, Auburn actually, Jonai missed. He got fouled, missed the front end of a 1-and-1. So they didn't even score on that possession, but he made the huge assist to Miles Kelly. Chaney Johnson, former UAH Charger, got Vicic to wall up there, got the big stop. Auburn finds a way to win 53-51. It was an epic game. Then they followed that up with a really good road win over LSU. Didn't play their best, only shot about 38%. But Jonai gets back in the starting lineup. He continues to play well. He had an All-American effort, so it looks like he's getting very, very close to being back. And now Auburn has got a really tough road trip to Ole Miss. Ole Miss got a nice win Wednesday where they dug a hole against Rodney Terry in a program that basically Chris Beard set up. Don't forget that. But a 72-69 win for the Rebels coming back. So they didn't drop 2 home games, which would have been big. And if you're going to try to stay in contention for the SEC regular season championship, now they get to take on Auburn. It's going to be a great game. Yet the feature game for the weekend is probably still Tennessee hosting Florida, because Tennessee has had a really rough patch since we last spoke with you. We know that
twice, man.
Yeah, man. They lose that game to Auburn, where they had a golden opportunity, had the ball up to Zakai Ziegler, can't finish the drive. They couldn't finish it off, and then they lose at home unexpectedly to Kentucky, only because as we've already said, Kentucky down 2 starters, led by Lamont Butler, their outstanding point guard who played so well against Alabama. But huge credit to Mark Pope and those guys to win that game 78-73, and and win in a really tough place to play in Thompson Bowling Arena. Now it puts the onus on Tennessee, because they're 4-4 in the league, guys. If you want to stay, now they're in no danger of missing the NCAA tournament, but we're talking about seed line. Like, if you're keeping yourself in the conversation for a top 3 seed in the NCAA tournament, you've got to win some conference games, and you don't need to be dropping home games. And so Todd Golden and the Gators, top 5 in the country, they're 18-2. Blake Lovell came on talking ball this morning from Southeastern 16. And he's right. They're 3 plays away from to get 20-0. This is a must-win for Tennessee, unless you want to. You're going to start having to reconfigure your goals. In other words, maybe a top 5 seed, but maybe not being on that top 3 line. And so right now, Florida's still very much in the conversation for a 1 seed. Yeah. So this is a big game. And guess what? We've said all this, and we still haven't talked about John Calipari returning to Rupp Arena because the Hogs have been so bad.
Yeah, no. And,
he's still coming.
Yeah, no, he is.
I mean,
I think he's got 1 SEC win now, maybe. Yeah,
look,
no, he does.
And look, we all know that great coaches do this. Again, we sat here literally in a state that was dominated for almost 2 decades of a coach that in his first season he was 500. So, I mean, again, I get it, but it's also just kind of, I think it's just more weird to see because we're so used to it. But at the same time, he's also now trying to build a team in 2025 where I'm not saying what's happened in the past, but kind of everybody's kind of on the same playing level, if that makes sense. So it's a little bit different.
No, I mean, look, the league is a lot tougher than when Calipari came, 15 years ago. We've already talked about that. It was basically John Calipari, Billy Donovan, and the rest. I mean,
yes.
it was a 2-bid league. It was a very, very weak time for the SEC. And even if you finished 3rd in the regular season in the Southeastern Conference, you weren't even guaranteed to get a bid to the NCAA tournament. So, and I think even Calipari has been surprised how good the league is this year. He has gone to Arkansas. So we'll see. But no doubt, this is a big game for Cal. I don't give him much of a shot. Now, I will agree with Blake Lovell. I'm not anticipating a bloodletting like when Cal brought his Kentucky Wildcats 3 years ago to Tuscaloosa and lost by 44. I'm not expecting that kind of effort. I think they'll play hard. I think, Kentucky's still a little banged up, but I gotta like Big Blue by 15-20 in this game. I'd say more in the teens. I think Cal will find a way to keep it close. And honestly, I think he'll get a warm reception. I think Hero, Big Z, and of course, and Boogie Fan would have, but he got hurt. But those guys that decided DJ Wagner that left Kentucky to go to Arkansas, I still think they'll get a warm reception. I mean, this is the portal area. And look, John Calipari did have a historic run in Kentucky. The last 4 to 5 years was good, but he won a national championship, the only one of his career. He went to multiple Final Fours. He put bukus of kids in the NBA. Let's not forget, before he came over there and basically replaced Billy Clyde Gillespie, Kentucky was not in good shape. It was kind of like when Rick Pitino had to come and get Kentucky out of the doldrums of probation. In both cases, and Rick also had a very, poignant message to the Big Blue Nation about welcoming Coach Calipari back. And Mark Pope kind of doing the same thing. It's been interesting. When Kentucky's had to hire the right guy and get their program back, and they're always going to be a blue blood. It means so much to them. They made the right hire with Rick Pitino when C.M. Newton, the late C.M. Newton, a former Alabama coach, was the AD at Kentucky. He knew he had to get Pitino, kind of like Nick Saban had to come to Tuscaloosa in football. And then John Calipari, he had brought this back, but he wanted to. And don't forget, John Calipari had that brief cup of coffee with the New Jersey Nets, which was horrendous.
Oh yeah,
but don't forget, he was at UMass. They never had national success. He took them to the Final Four. Then he goes to Memphis, which had been a great job, but needed a juice, somebody to come in there and give it some juice, which he did. And then he goes to Kentucky, which that was really his first blue blood job, though. Think about it. I mean, because Memphis, remember, they've never really been a Power 4, Power 5 program since the reconfiguration of collegiate athletics. So despite the fact that he nearly won a national championship at Memphis, they weren't a blue blood, if you know what I'm saying. So that was his first blue blood job. Arkansas can be one. Eric Musselman had some success getting to Elite 8, Sweet 16, but it bottomed out last year. He's at USC now. So we'll see. But I still think Cal, I'm going to be more fascinated about it. Look, guys, I think this is a lost season. They're not going to the NCAA tournament, okay? They're not going to wave a magic wand and be good.
Yeah, one of the few SEC teams.
They've got 8 players, okay? But I'm going to be fascinated. He's got 3 stud, guys, 2 McDonald's All-Americans committed, the best player in Arkansas committed. He's got a top 5 class or whatnot. He's still recruiting well in the high school rank. But what I want to see is what they do in the portal. Like what guys can they retain off the roster now? Who can they go snag? And will he make some adjustments to his coaching staff? Because I think he needs to. I think the Kenny Paynes of the world is a great recruiter, not much of an X's and O's guy. Most of the guys on his staff are not considered X's and O's. Because Calipari is a very proud guy. I know they talk about him being stubborn, but again, I certainly this should have been eye-opening for him. Like, hey, we're in the bottom third of this league. So you got to make some changes. And in the NIL portal area, you can do that quickly. He was ahead of the curve when he had the dribble drive offense at Memphis, but everybody's caught up.
Well, and with the way that he's recruited, it was different than everybody else because it was this is almost like a minor league system for the NBA.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you get Michael Kidd-Gilchrist and Anthony Davis, and they're probably the 2 top players in the country in their class, you got dudes everywhere.
Well, yeah.
You're out talenting everybody.
And before anybody says anything about what are y'all talking about with Arkansas in this, let's not forget that 2 years ago this was a Sweet 16 team, and for 2 years straight they made it to the Elite 8.
Right.
So I mean, look, Eric Musselman did it, and this program, Arkansas has a history of being a great basketball school.
Well, Nolan Richardson went to multiple Final Fours, 2 straight national championship games, won it all in '94. So this is a program before that they made Final Four. So they're a proud program. And to me, this will be Cal's last job. So how is he going to tweak things and get them back among the elite? I still think he can do that. Now he's going to have to swallow some pride, make some changes, but everybody's capable of doing it. I mean, the greatest coaches in the sport always change, and we'll see if Calipari does that. If not, then he might, not finish his career like he wants to.
Yeah, he's got to evolve. If he doesn't evolve, then he's going to be like a lot of coaches and just said, you know what, I'm kind of done with this era of sports.
It could be like that Bill Belichick situation where you have this team that you've been with for so long and you've been able to find so much success, and then whenever it gets to the time where things are changing, you're not able to adjust because you're used to finding success in your own way. That's something that John Calipari is going to have to adjust to. And if not, then he's going to end up like a Bill Belichick, in his first season in North Carolina, if it is a failure. But we'll still wait to see that.
I'll even mention this coach on the college level because his last few years, they weren't quite as good, Roy Williams. And Roy Williams decided to walk away because he was used to players staying. He didn't have players transferring out. But we all know that changed with NIL and the transfer portal and guys, Walker Kessler. That was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. He didn't want to wait his turn in North Carolina. They still thought he had a bright future. He went to Auburn. It ended up being the best move for him. He became a lottery pick. He's in the NBA right now. He had a great 1 year with Auburn, and then was the SEC Defensive Player of the Year. And so kids don't want to stay anymore, man. They want to play. And again, and Roy Williams is a Hall of Famer. So is John Calipari. Absolutely. But it's going to be interesting to see what – because I don't – there have been people – there's been so much conversation. Is Calipari done? I really don't think so. I don't expect him to hang it up at the end of this year. We know that, Mike Krzyzewski, he went out, with a Final Four and lost it, ironically, North Carolina. But again, but I think in Jim Boeheim, that's another coach that kind of he was an icon in the game, but by the time he retired, his program was mediocre. So it's because again, and
you don't hear anything about Syracuse now.
It's sad. It's sad because that was the team I used to follow back in March Madness.
Because it was awesome seeing them play they're playing in a football stadium. Like it was just they were actually getting more fans for their basketball games, and sometimes the team was getting for their football games.
Now it's kind of flipped.
So we'll see how it goes. I mean, we're even starting to hear this stuff about Mark Few. We've seen Jim Larrañaga hanging up at Miami, and Jim Larrañaga doesn't get enough credit. He's a Hall of Famer. He got George Mason to the Final Four. He got Miami to the Final Four, but he hasn't wanted to deal with the agents. Tony Bennett in his mid-50s stepping away. Jay Wright. It's chewing up a lot of coaches. Hey, by the way, I didn't mention this on Talking Ball, so I'm going to mention this, and I am honored to be the first in-studio guest on the Blitz here in our palatial new studios. Did you guys see this, though? Brian Hodgson, did you see the raise he got at Arkansas State?
No.
Wow. Just Jeff Goodman on X, if you want to check out Jeff Goodman, Basketball Insider, for the Field of 68. And I'm addicted to the Field of 68 because I'm a hoopaholic. And so I love all those guys. Terrence Oglesby is a guy that played in the Huntsville City Classic. We've had him on Talking Ball. I'd like to get him on again. Whenever I get a chance to talk to Jeff Goodman, when I see him on press row, I always try to say hello. Rob Doster started the Field of 68. John Fanta. Love all those cats, man. They have a lot of great analysts on their panel, former coaches, former players. But Jeff Goodman tweeted this out yesterday, and the amount that he is getting paid stunned me for a mid-major job, guys. Brian Hodgson, who's done a great job. He's in his second year, 17-5 at Arkansas State, $4 million a year. Wow. At Arkansas State.
He's making $4 million a year as a head coach at a Sun Belt school.
Think about who stepped up there, guys. Now, again, here's the caveat. The buyout is $1 million. So a Power 4 program can still poach him. But think about that, $4 million. You'd have to go for the perfect job. You're making $4 million a year basically Arkansas State wanted to ensure that another mid-major couldn't come along and pluck him away. And even some Power 4 schools. So it would have to be the perfect fit for Brian Hodgson. Love Brian Hodgson, know him personally. Great dude. He's going to marry Riley Norris' sister. Riley Norris, former Albertville Aggie, and they've had a child. He's got Jet, his son. So it's great for him. He's done an amazing job in his brief time in Jonesboro, Arkansas. But I was just like, wow.
He's making 4 times what Butch Jones is making as the football.
We already had to
No, look at this. So I pulled up the salaries that the head coaches were making in college football last season. And here's some of the coaches that he's making more of per year. Kenny Dillingham, who coached in the college football. He did, but he made 3.95 last year. All right, Clark Lee at Vandy, 3.189.
Wow.
Brett Lashley at SMU, 2 of those that I've named, coached in the college football playoff this year.
Wow.
And you can continue going down this list and seeing. I mean, Trent Dilfer doesn't deserve the 1.45, so I'm not even going to bring him up. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Rich Rod, before he got his new gig, was making $1 million a year, and that was a CUSA school. Jacksonville, they won the CUSA.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting to talk about with these coaches, but the one thing that's interesting is that Alabama actually does have a matchup against Calipari coming up. Obviously, got to get by Georgia first. This is a weird team.
Yeah, it'll be Georgia. Saturday. And it's weird. This Alabama team is better on the road.
Yes.
That was a high-level game against Mississippi State. We know what they did in Rupp Arena. They struggled last Saturday against LSU. We'll be headed up there tomorrow to see them play against Georgia, who's very capable. My team's improved. Asa Newell, who Alabama recruited, is a lottery pick. He'll be probably very likely a one and done. This roster is much better for Georgia. So now they're not a very good offensive team at times, but they're a really good defensive team. Is Alabama going to have their minds right? Because then Alabama gets a chance to have that week break that everybody gets once during the season. And as you mentioned, John, they would be on the road in Fayetteville against John Calipari and the Arkansas Razorbacks their next day after this week off. But they've got to handle business because you got to stay close to Auburn. I mean, for that, because really, look, guys, we're at the very end of January today. This is January the 31st. We're basically 2 weeks from the first Armageddon meeting, which would be February the 15th. It'll be a week 2
I like
weeks from
that
Saturday.
name better than the whole Iron Bowl.
Armageddon.
It's basketball. So it's 2 weeks from Saturday. We will be in Tuscaloosa for Alabama Auburn, the first chapter. I'm fully expecting game day there. It'll be nuts. It'll be crazy. And what you're hoping is it'll be the 2 top teams in the SEC. Potentially Auburn's still undefeated in the league. They can take care of Ole Miss, and then I know they host Oklahoma, but they've got some tests before that. Alabama again has a couple as well. Has some games they've got to take care of, but you could potentially have a top 4 matchup, number 1 versus number 4, hypothetically, and it would be amazing. And again, it's going to be 2 meetings within a month, February the 15th, and the regular season on March the 8th. But we're almost 2 weeks from a meeting that I've been fortunate to cover some crazy games in Coleman Coliseum, some crazy atmospheres. Man, if it's a top 4 meeting with game day there, Alabama and Auburn, it is going to be off the wall. I can just tell you that.
And it's getting to the point now where we got to start, focusing more on these games as well, because Alabama had a little bit of an easy stretch after you get the Vanderbilts. Of course, now Vanderbilt in the top 25. You got LSU, but then you had Mississippi State, and then it was the stretch of Georgia's, and then you got Arkansas, and then Texas. But then it's thrown right back into the fray against some of the best teams.
Starting with that Auburn game on February the 15th, every game they play is basically a ranked opponent, and they quite one of them.
Now, basically, it is.
It's insane. It's probably the toughest schedule in the country. But again, it's going to be easy going to Texas because that arena at the Moody Center is a tough place to play. Texas is a pretty good team under Rodney Terry. Again, but you just got to take it one game at a time in this league. They got to take care of Mike White in Georgia. Auburn got to take care of Ole Miss, but that'll be 2 of the games we're watching. Of course, Cal returning to Rupp Arena, and then Tennessee hosting Florida. A big slate of SEC basketball coming up.
Do you know when the last time was that College Game Day was in Tuscaloosa for the actual Iron Bowl?
Are you talking about football or basketball?
Like the actual, the real Iron Bowl, not this Iron Bowl basketball. I guess this is what's crazy about it, because you're talking about College Game Day being there on Saturday and 2 Saturdays for this, and you go, man, you remember it used to happen often. It was the COVID season. It was 2020.
Really?
The last time.
I would have said even. I would have said.
Which one would you say?
2014.
6.
No, it was 2020 was the last time that they were there for that game. Okay, so if you want to go back even further for the last time they were in Tuscaloosa for the Iron Bowl, again, I'm already looking back in 2018 and they still weren't there. That's how long it's been since they've been to Tuscaloosa for the actual Iron Bowl, and they could possibly be there in 2 weeks for this basketball.
It's definitely wild. Drew, before we get you out of here, Jalen Milroe, talk a little bit about it. Oh, sweet. Let's go.
Well, I mean, it's been an up and down week at Senior Bowl. The start was very rough. I mean, the short intermediate passing game was lacking, pocket presence, giving up, getting sacked, quote unquote, during practice. It's basically touch stuff. Yeah. We know that. I mean, but he got progressively better, improved some, made some big time throws in the second day. Still struggled a little bit. And his best day was the third day, as we talked to Wyatt Fulton, tied 109. He did thread the needle, had some beautiful down the field throws, especially the deep ball. It kind of reminded you of some of the dimes you saw him drop against Wisconsin earlier in the year. And he's very capable of that. And his RPM, they're keeping up with that. His arm strength has been very impressive, which we expected. But again, I still say, just like I said coming into the year, the neck up is what's going to separate it. He'll interview well, but I want to see how he does on the Greek sport. Then, pocket presence, climbing the pocket, throwing the ball on time and with anticipation. That's what's got to happen. Because, again, you can rip a throw. He is very capable. He's never been the physical tools. He has the arm strength. I mean, I know he was a shade under 6'2", but he's still got plenty of size. It's near, 6'1.5", 220 pounds. Built, mobility is off the charts, but you got to willingly use it and not just call runs. I mean, climb the pocket if the play's drinking down, be Lamar Jackson, be, Jaden Daniels, take off. But then, again, you have to go with accuracy and anticipation because you'll complete a deep ball or two. Eventually, they're going to take that away. They're going to make you, matriculate the ball down the field and work your way down. And you got to be able to process. And that's, to me, the biggest thing. And And I'll be interested to see if he takes this late momentum from Thursday's practice into the game. Though I will say the game is really kind of worthless. As you guys know, you've been around Senior Bowl. You've been around the NFL, covering the NFL with the Titans, Joe. It's about processing and it's about the practice.
Majority of the scouts will be leaving.
Yeah, they won't even be it. They may go back and watch it, but they were there for practice.
And I will say, like, again, with this year, like we had come out behind the scenes, we had this conversation about potentially going to the Super Bowl for Radio Row.
Yeah.
It was like, look, Super Bowl or have this new studio. We're like, okay, we'll take the new studio.
Yeah.
Okay, we got that. But I'm telling you, next year, 2 years from now, whatever it is, Senior Bowl Radio Row is a totally different animal because there are guys that we've been talking about that within our line of work, we literally have to go through 15 people, give everybody 20 questions, and let them know that we're going to be there for a specific time, but we got to be ready and all that sort of stuff. You have Heisman Trophy candidates. You have all these winners of all these awards throughout the season just walking through the hotel and be like, hey, man, can you come over here and tell us about that game that you threw 350 yards against Texas? Like, come on, can you do this? It is so amazing to be down for a Super Bowl radio.
Steve West has done it big time. I mean, we haven't done it in the last few years, but certainly now that we are, can I call it a permanent location?
Yeah,
I would say this is pretty permanent.
Yeah.
So we're going to get back to covering events like the Senior Bowl. Jim Nagy does a great job. I mentioned today on Talking Ball, he was our first guest, remember, live from Dallas, on Radio Row. He was walking down Radio Row. We grabbed Jim Nagy, and it was great stuff. We asked him about Milrow, and so I'm looking forward to seeing the game and seeing his draft process continue to unfold. It sounds like Tim Smith helped himself quite a bit. I mean, it's always been a motor issue with him. He can be very disruptive. I still think, to me, he's a 4th, 5th round pick guy that can be a rotational defensive tackle and still have a long NFL career. We'll see what happens, but I think he has the talent.
Drew, always great stuff from you, brother. It's great to get you on, and next week we'll just do the same. Once we get in more of a rotation of things. Today still feels like a Monday to me, but regardless of that, we got you in.
We're back on the air.
We're back on the air.
Dude, that was crazy. Even when Steve said it last night at the UH basketball game, he goes, and tomorrow we're back on the air. I went, wait, we really are. We really, really are. Like, all right, we're good to go.
Well, I'm proud of myself. I still woke up early every day. I couldn't help myself. Besides, I was getting texts every day.
Dude,
how come you're not on?
You were like
how come you're not
30 minutes early today. I mean, that was huge.
I told Scott I would do this. I don't want to shock you.
The new studio magic right there. Joe, take a break.
We got one in a row. Let's see if we can do it. We can do it all week next week. That's what we call a winning streak. We'll continue. Phone lines are open. 256-576-977 on the Blitz.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. For a limited time, GBank is offering a $250 bonus when you open a GBank Visa Signature card. Apply today at vsin.com/GBank.
Jacksonville State over FIU 71-67 yesterday, but the Gamecocks did not cover at 6.5-point favorites. That number was bet down from 9 points, and the Gamecocks by 4. UTM Monroe with a 62-58 win at South Alabama. The Warhawks a 15.5-point road underdog. NASCAR's official start to the season is the Daytona 500. But the unofficial start coming up Sunday night at Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's the Cookout Flash. Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin plus 750 co-favorites. Joey Logano plus 850. Chase Briscoe is 9. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Super Bowl 59 is on Westwood One.
The Eagles are headed to New Orleans. Now the Chiefs are on the doorstep of history, going for a 3rd consecutive Super Bowl.
Hi, everybody. I'm Scott Grant. Join Kevin Harlan, Kurt Warner, Laura Oakman, Gene Steratore, Devin McCourty, and me for all the action right here.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
You'll love the expanded wine selection at Liquor Express. From special occasion to everyday table wines, they've got what you need. Meet your friends at the largest tap wall in Alabama with 105 rotating selections. Then take home a growler full of your favorite or choose from our 1,000 canned or bottled beers. Need help stocking your bar or planning your party? Liquor Express has a knowledgeable professional in-house staff that can assist you with anything from your bar to the planning of your special event. Visit liquorexpress.net for tasting specials, giveaways, and classes.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. Scattered showers will be possible for this Thursday night. Low temperatures going to be falling into the upper 50s for the overnight. We could also potentially see wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. Heading into our Friday, scattered showers and a few thunderstorms going to be possible. High temperatures topping out in the low 60s for the day. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You know, this process is all about talking ball.
Listen to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond.
What did they want privacy for? To just start talking ball.
Every weekday morning, wake up with Scott and Drew. It's Talkin' Ball. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hello, welcome back into the Morning Blitz. Just got done downing a frozen Costco pizza.
Now you like the Costco pizza.
I've never had it, Joe.
Telling you.
Mr. Joe Hunk, which, by the way, never knew how cheap you could get a Costco membership.
Oh, no, screw the membership. I mean, the membership's awesome. Obviously, my wife in there visits this place every time. And now I was telling her, look, there are a lot of pizza places. There are a lot of fantastic areas. I'm never going to say that they're not they're great pizzas. Costco, it's a $9 large pizza.
That thing was $9? The thing that Merrill brought us?
Oh, yeah, that was only $9.
Dude, that
okay?
thing's amazing.
So what the wife and I do is we go into Costco. We'll go over. We'll order the pizza.
We're not sponsored by Costco, by the way.
No, but we're about to make a lot of trips there. And so it was we go over there, we order it, then we go get our foods and all of our pre-prepared stuff that we're obviously going to be cooking whenever we're doing real food, like healthy stuff. And then what we're going to do, and then by the time we're done doing that, we get out and we check out, the pizza's ready, we pick it up and walk out.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
I'm telling you, it is amazing.
My eyes were
we
open.
will get one at least once a week.
My eyes
we
were
get it. Dude. So and this is with John, okay? Because I'm trying to make sure I'm looking at the right camera. WZZN TV. This is the thing, is about a month ago, I had to make a Costco run, and then we were going to be working all night because it was going to be like one of those long Thursdays where John and I are doing like 3 or 4 shows. And I even looked at John and said, hey, man, you guys want a Costco pizza? And John goes, nah, I'm good. I'm like,
I should have said yes.
Yeah, now you remember that, don't you?
A little bit. I don't even know what we were doing. What were we doing?
We were working at the studio, and I was like, hey, man, I know we're going to be at the studio a while. Do you guys want a Costco pizza? I'll bring it back. They're like, no, we're good. We're all right. We don't need no Costco pizza. Now your eyes have been open. Your eyes have been open to that, just like whenever you're actually turning on your radio today on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, and you're sitting here listening going, wait a second, are they live? They're local? They didn't get fired? They're still here? Yes. We've been off the air for about a week just so that we can get everything in this brand new studio picked up. You've seen the pictures that we've been posting on social media of us tearing down the attic, of us being able to move stuff, of John trying to build a desk that apparently took 4 days.
Final video comes out today, by the way.
You still have it at the desk?
Oh, yeah. I learned that Facebook Reels actually accept 90-second long videos. So I'm just going to and then get it out of the way so it's done.
And so all of that to say that we have got everything up and rolling. Now we are at the tidy up stage where there's a few things, possibly even a dump button, that we kind of need to add to the, but we've got the dump button. It's just not connected.
Does it do anything if I?
No, if you touch it without wires connecting it to what it needs to be connected to, that is not benefiting us at all.
It takes us to break.
Yeah.
All right. Well, when
Okay.
we come back, we got phone lines as well as more conversation, and Joe's got something fun to get into.
I have something fun.
It is a Friday.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports, and it's brought to you by Guthrie's, America's original chicken finger restaurant. It's now an official partner in the Alabama Crimson Tide. For franchise information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Huber. Here are thoughts from Alabama men's basketball coach Nate Oates following the dramatic victory in Starkville on Wednesday.
Quite the game. If you like big shot making, that was a good game to be at and watch. I mean, Hubbard's pretty good, man. We didn't do a very good job on him, but man, he made some tough shots. So I thought Chris, stepped up, said, let me take him. I thought maybe he did the best job of anybody, but it was late in the game and we'd already given up a bunch of them to him. So, I mean, he goes for 38. I mean, we got to do a better job on defense, obviously, but we definitely made some big plays.
I'll have more in a moment.
Founded in Haleyville, Alabama in 1965 by Hal and Melissa Guthrie, Guthrie's was America's first chicken finger restaurant. Guthrie still uses the family's original Southern fried chicken recipe in every chicken finger they serve. Fresh, hot, and fast. Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers has been Alabama owned and operated since 1965, and Guthrie's is still growing strong. Come see us soon. Guthrie's, America's original chicken finger restaurant, and now an official partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For franchise information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com.
We've got you covered for Alabama men's basketball on Saturday and women's basketball on Sunday, with both teams hosting Georgia at Coleman Coliseum. Tip-off for the men's game is set for 3 p.m. Central on Saturday, with our coverage on the network starting at 2, and the women's game will begin at 2 p.m. Central, with our coverage on the network starting at 1:45 p.m. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Guthrie's. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Carrabba's Italian Grill is the best place to enjoy authentic Italian cuisine, passed down from our founders' family recipes. Featuring a wood-burning grill, you can enjoy Carrabba's signature dishes, including chicken brine, wood-fired grilled steak and chops, and classic Italian pasta dishes. Have a special event? Elevate your catering with Carrabba's Catering, the perfect way to enjoy large party portions of your favorite hand-prepared dishes for any event. Carrabba's Italian Grill at Parkway Place, Huntsville.
Long before winter weather approaches, the Alabama Department of Transportation prepares to maintain interstate and state roads that could be affected by snow and ice.
Yeah, we start training and doing maintenance on snow and ice equipment months in advance to make sure everything is ready for when the freezing weather comes. We will have crews working around the clock that are prepared to plow snow and remove trees that have fallen into the roadway.
Our mission is to keep roadways safe and open. We try to achieve this by focusing on interstate routes first and then secondary roadways by traffic volume.
If the weather allows, we'll start pre-treating the roadways during the day to prepare for the temperature drop at night.
AlDOT wants to keep the public informed during these winter weather events. The best way to learn about state road conditions is the AlGo app and through local media. Brought to you by AlDOT, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. For a limited time, GBank is offering a $250 bonus when you open a GBank Visa signature card. Apply today at vsin.com/GBank.
Jacksonville State over FIU 71-67 yesterday, but the Gamecocks did not cover as 6.5-point favorites. That number was bet down from 9 points, and the Gamecocks win by 4. Louisiana Monroe with a 62-58 win at South Alabama. The Warhawks with a 15.5-point road underdog. NASCAR's official start to the season is the Daytona 500, but the unofficial start coming up Sunday night at Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's the Cookout Flash. Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin, the plus 750 code favorites. Joey Logano plus 850. Chase Briscoe is 9-1. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. Scattered showers will be possible for this Thursday night. Low temperatures going to be falling into the upper 50s for the overnight. We could also potentially see wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. Heading into our Friday, scattered showers and a few thunderstorms going to be possible. High temperatures topping out in the low 60s for the day. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Second hour, final hour, best hour. First few hours in our brand new studio on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, and the Blitz. You can see that brand new studio that we are working with over on WZZN TV.
What happened to your camera?
You have the AI tracking on, and so the AI tracking.
I'm just gonna
Yeah, the AI. No, there's our vacuum cleaner.
Okay. Yeah,
I love how because now John can actually manually work the camera. And there's my drink. Hi, there I am. What's up, man? What's up, dog?
You also
We're
left the
good.
door open.
I did leave the door open.
Look, this is why we're not trying to rush anything. I mean, the show is definitely not exactly what we wanted it to be on the first day back. But at the same time, moving a studio usually takes more than just a few days, and we did it in literally 4 days.
Yeah, there are a lot of daily tasks and things that I guarantee you there are normal carpenters as well as installers that they could have probably done in 5 minutes that John and I taught ourselves on how to do. Look at the TV mounts.
Yeah.
And as well as everything that we wired through the ceiling, underneath the floors, every bit of that we all just kind of learned in the last, 163 hours?
Yeah,
is what I said?
yeah. Well, maybe if we listen to our listeners a little bit more on the phone lines, then we would know a little bit more of how to put some of this stuff together. But regardless of that, before we get into those phone lines, before we get into a lot of the fun to come in this second hour, I would like to remind you that this show is presented by the wonderful people over at Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com to fill your free quote today. And remember that Fleming always shows up. And on top of that, phone lines open to you, 256-576-4977, as well as WZZN TV, where you can hop into our ecosystem of chat boxes. Have fun over there. And on X, 97.7 ESPN. And our apps on Apple and Android devices.
All right, let's go to the phone lines. 256-576-4977. You were going to the phone lines. Brandon, welcome into the Blitz, man. How's it going?
That Dell screen's too small. I'm going to need Wes to get y'all some of those 49-inch curved monitors.
Yeah, he's talking about this one right here, Joe. He's talking about this.
There's one that is in the shot that where you can see John with. That is actually the smallest one, and we put that there for that reason.
Do I cover
the smallest one?
Do I cover up the Dell? Are we allowed to show off the Dell? No, I don't care about that. We have a huge computer right next to it, a huge monitor.
There is a massive one right beside it that we're utilizing for our video stream.
For streams, for Canva, everything is over on that device. So I mean, we're still taken care of pretty good.
So I didn't know with the 49-inch screens, the curved ones, if y'all be able to like Fortnite battle each other while doing the show, or if that was frowned upon.
Well, I mean, it would be frowned upon, but if you guys were paying attention whenever we had the ice storm and I stayed at the house, I tried playing video games and talking on the air, and John got a little upset with me.
It was so dumb, Joe.
Look, you just got upset with me about doing it. So, I would love to do that, but there's going to have to be special streams for
Your
that sort of
mind
thing.
is already multitasking as is, all right?
Look, you blame – that's on Oyama. if Yoyama would have been able to hit the way that I needed him to hit in that situation, I would have been able. Then I had to have Sato come up, and Sato was the one that I needed the double for, and it's way harder to hit in Japan than it is America. You brought that up. So there we go. What's going on, Brandon?
I wanted to ask you, being that you do the Huntsville Havoc,
yeah.
I saw a story the other day. It says most NHL teams have gotten rid of, I'm going to change this word, very good-looking ice girls due to some fan complaints. Meanwhile, the Vegas Golden Knights are doubling down. Do you think the Havoc would ever have those?
No, because then I'm out of a job. Look, okay, because again, going back to tonight, like you're talking about the on rink, the ice rink reporter, right?
No, the ice girls. They have a crew that come out and clean up. And this nice wrestling type onesie. Yeah.
Okay. See, so the Preds used to do this as well, and actually, a lot of those. What's happened is even with the Preds, because I know a few of those ladies that were doing that. They've actually just moved up into the stands, and they're kind of like, I don't want to say cheerleaders, but what they are is they kind of go around now and they do a lot of stuff when it comes to giveaways, and they're doing a lot of things like staying up on the concourses and that sort of thing. So they're still there. They've just kind of moved them off of the ice.
The prep crew.
Of that, exactly. So now what they're doing, and even the Havoc already kind of do this, because a lot of the ladies are part of more of the promotions teams that hop on there. Now they do have some that are part of the shovels and scraping up around the crease and stuff, but a lot of the ladies that do it are all part of the promotions whenever you're on the ice doing the chuck-a-pucks and things like that.
Okay, and my other one is you had a fight between coaches between Albertville and Guntersville the other night. Do we know what caused this and what is happening in the after?
Okay, see, so and this is where kind of being out of it for about a week happens, because the only fight that I saw of it was the one that happened in the stands where the college basketball game got canceled. It got postponed because of the fight in the stands. That's what I heard about. And I didn't even get to see the Albertville-Guntersville fight. Totally missed out on that. Had no idea it took place.
It was a melee. They said it was started by coaches. One slapped one on the other one on the back a little too hard, and then okay.
I've had that happen.
So Albertville and Guntersville, I mean, you would never think that two cities that close would go at it. They would never have a reason to already be mad at each other. God forbid.
Look, they're separated by is like a 40-degree angle. I mean, that's what that 431 is, trying to get up to Albertville from Guntersville. You feel like you almost got to go 45 degrees just to get up that hill. So, I mean, that's the only thing separating the two cities.
I just got a text from somebody that said, who won the fight? Wow, there's somebody worse than me.
Yeah, I actually thought you were about to ask me a money line for that. Is what I thought you were about to ask me.
No. I'm not willing to go that far down the rabbit hole. I think I'll stay just this side of it. So, but I just wondered if we knew what went on, if who's suspended, who's out, because, I mean, we're down to area tournament play right now. So you got teams that if you got guys sitting and coaches out for your area tournaments before you get to round 32 of playoffs, that can hurt.
Oh, I mean, that ends your season. It is. You lose, your season's done. So, yeah, absolutely. No, you're right. I'll look it up for you. All right, man.
All right, we'll do that, and then y'all need to install a train in the studio. That way y'all can send snail mail notes to each other. Just hit them to go around the track on the wall.
I mean, that'd be awesome, but we're already ordering a gong, I guess.
Yeah, what's the deal with the gong?
It's a whole Kia thing, Arthur Seaton,
Okay.
Because they've got one. Either way.
I mean, I just didn't know. I mean, you started going with like some Mr. Rogers Neighborhood stuff. Like we need to drill a hole through the wall. And it's like, all right, let's go to the land of make-believe.
We got a few holes to drill, that's for sure. But either way.
And a Coke freestyle machine, roll tide.
Ooh, good stuff from you, Brandon. Golly. No, I mean, there's so many things that we could add. It might have to come out of our own pocket, but who really knows? On top of Brandon, though, we might as well continue on with the phone lines.
Let's go with it.
Because we got Jeff from the Borough on with us.
How's it going, man?
Jeff,
World Series?
You're on. How you doing, man?
You finally get through your vacation. Y'all have a good vacation.
Man, I wish I could have went down to Florida and hung out.
I had a week off. Didn't do no shows. I just kind of rested out. Had that couch, that
my back was definitely rested.
Had that beer and watched that football. Exciting Commanders and Eagles. God, that was so good. God, I might.
Yeah.
Well, I would QBR that thing. Woo. Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
All bits.
I'm definitely sad that the NFL season's coming to an end here
I
soon.
love every single minute of it.
And I know you do, because we'll be talking a lot more basketball today. It was just kind of one of those jambalaya shows.
Yeah. Well, about a month and a half. You normally do, but no.
Well, I mean,
we end of March comes to me. Like guy said up here one time. He said when college football ends, I go through withdrawals. When college basketball ends, it don't affect me. I said, click. That's
now, March Madness is some of the best TV you're going to get. I want more of that, but at the same time, I don't want the NCAA to extend that like they did, obviously, the college football playoffs.
Of course you don't. Of course you want
it's the same. I don't want it to last forever.
You want the football playoffs to extend, but not basketball.
Look,
no.
I
be an hypocrite.
I didn't want the college football to expand.
We were thinking that the season should have been over by the time it was already the second to last games. But I will say this:
it should be over. It should be over January 1. It should be over.
I mean, you make a good point. You do. Baseball is going to be the next thing.
Well, one of the comments, though, I think Tuesday night there was a game in Knoxville. I believe it's the third time in a row, but it's been double digit. I've been underdogs in Knoxville. That's 3 straight wins in a row for us in Knoxville. A no-point guard again, like 2023, and we still beat you because regular season break on the sideline. When you got in, babe, ain't no need to scout, darling. But when you fouled that 3-point shooter, he just put his hands in his face and said, we got no discipline. And they can't. The plan was to let them shoot. 11 of 45, 16% of Tennessee shots in that ball game were 3-pointers. Tennessee shoots 72 times, Kentucky 50. Your comments aren't about that. Comments.
Oh, no. You played way better. Kentucky played way better. I mean, that was just
Kentucky
it.
Let them shoot, they can't shoot the ball. Tennessee can't shoot. It's like, Guy Ziegler, are you kidding me? All-American, please. Yeah. Are you kidding me? No, in the words of John Ward, no, sir, never, never, never. He's too short. He's not going to play in the NBA. All we had to do is put a towel on him. He could do nothing but drive the basket. It's like, that sounds like a sandwich I choked on and threw up. It's like, a name right there. I got Dave, Double Z. Maybe he's a top flighter. Who I can't make the draft him. God almighty.
Yeah, Tennessee's one of those tough teams where it's just like you got Zakai, but at the same time you try and think about the rest of the roster, and it's not like Alabama where Mark Sears, if he's having a bad day, then he's going to have the other guys, step up and win. But for Tennessee, I mean, this is the reason why they lost to Auburn the way they did. What was it, 53-51, I believe? I mean, this is just
because he called the dumbest last play you could ever call. A 35,000 footer. When all you got to do is drive the basket, get fouled, maybe win the ball game. But not Rick Barnes. We're going to throw up a 35,000 footer. Rick, no good. Ball game over. That's why he's a regular season Rick, and baby, he'd never be in my Hall of Fame. He just got nominated again. I hope he don't get it. He don't deserve it. As far as I'm concerned. And I do think he's a great coach and wonderful. The Barnes train, he's done so much for Tennessee. Just so much for their basketball program. God, he's just turned it around. And God, they're a powerhouse. They just won so much. About like that women's program. And also, I want to say, last night, I believe Kentucky beat Alabama women last night. I guess Drew didn't mention that. You won't mention that, Dave. Women's basketball. He's never heard of it. He's never heard of women's ball. I mean, as far as Kenny Brooks whips, what's her name? That other one over at Alabama sideline? She tries to go. She's not very good, though. And what's her name? A little Parker girl that scored 36 against Vanderbilt. She scored, 10, 15, 20? Not good enough, babe. Not Memorial. No, sorry again. And again, we beat you before the weekend. They chalk beat us in basketball. We beat you in gymnastics. Oh, well. That was when we whipped you at. Drew's not going to mention that. He's never heard of that either.
Who would?
Come on, DeArmond, comments. Kentucky beat you, girly babe, and they might beat Bam in that dump, Coleman. I hope. Hope they do.
All right.
I said, and the Armageddon, baby, game day don't need to be at Coleman, that dump. What do they want to go down that dump for? They don't need to be there, darling. It's not a big game, babe. Y'all hang in there and have a good day. See, y'all win this weekend.
It's like number 1 versus number 4.
I would say it's a pretty big game. And I don't know why, I get Coleman Coliseum's getting, a little bit aged, but at the same time, it is a fine.
No, it's a dump. No,
I think it's a fine arena.
No, it's a dump.
I think it's fine.
Oh, no. It is absolutely a dump.
Tease thrown, Joe.
No, I know. But there's also a reason that they are having, I don't even know where the fund is and how much more money needs to be raised for this fund, but they put out this view of the way that the schools was trying to actually get and renovate Coleman Coliseum. And they brought out all these videos of all these VIP areas and how they were going to redo underneath the stadium and all this so that, fans could like stand there and actually have a bar behind them and stuff. I mean, again, it needs to be renovated bad.
Like completely.
Again, you look around the SEC and you look around. I mean, look, you talked about how bad Georgia is. I mean, Coleman Coliseum is not a great arena.
Oh, no. And I'm just talking about the court for Georgia. Outside of that the place is fine. And I feel like the standard right now, because they're brand new and because they've got a wonderful facility, honestly, would be Texas. I mean, that is an awesome arena. But again, the team, I would choose a better team than a better arena any day of the week, and that's what we got with Alabama.
Well, the better team leads to a better arena.
Well, you think. I mean, this is a good Alabama basketball team. They've been good for the last 3 years. I haven't seen too much change, too much adjustments to this amazing team. Talking about putting the money towards their actual court. That's what I'm talking about. The football field's beautiful, though. Either way.
We've got more phone calls. Yes. We're going to be getting to those. Again, we haven't been able to take them all week because, according to Jeff, we've been on vacation down in Florida.
Yeah, tell it to my back, Jeff.
John, where did we go? Did we go to Gulf Shores? Did we go to Miami?
We went to the Gulf of America.
Gulf of America.
That's where we went.
We went to Wonderland. All right, cool. 256-576 977 gets you in on the Blitz on this Friday on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Are you trying to find a new house? Are you trying to find the right loan, the right people to do your loan? Look no further than the Bank of Frank Ewing in Hazel Green. John Kendall, the Vice President of Mortgage with me. John, when they need a loan, and I say they, when people need a loan, it's about them.
That's right, Scott. Our whole motto is it's all about you. We're going to be okay. You're the one making the investment. We want to make sure that you're taken care of.
How do they find you?
Give us a call at 256-507-9180, or they can catch us online at bankoffrankewing.com.
It's Bank of Frank Ewing in Hazel Green, where they take the home loan to you and they make it all about you. Bank of Frank Ewing in Hazel Green is an FDI insured bank, as well as an equal housing lender.
NMLS number 446707.
Hello, listeners. My name is Jonathan Dunwoody, and I own Minuteman Press. We are a full-service print shop that is locally owned and operated. I have personally been handling direct mail for over 17 years and have a great relationship with the USPS. We are the only print shop in the area that is listed as a print provider on their website and the only printing franchise that can use their logo as our partner on marketing materials. We can help from conception to design, print, and delivery to the post office. And with our easy, secure online payment option, you don't even need to leave your office. Minuteman Press, we're not just putting ink on paper, we're building relationships.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
It's time to get ready for game day. That means Alabama football and tailgate. Whether you're tailgating at home or at Bryant-Denny, visit Brooks & Collier for North Alabama's largest selection of premium grills and smokers like Big Green Egg, Blaze, Delta Heat, Memphis, and Trey. Satisfy any palate with our wall of rubs and seasonings. For all your tailgating needs, visit Brooks & Collier at 813 Meridian Street or at brooksandcollier.com. An Alabama tradition for over 75 years. Roll Tide.
Flying nonstop from Huntsville is a breeze on Breeze Airways. They're nice people flying nice people to nice places on really nice planes. Let's be direct. Nonstop from Huntsville to the places you want to go. Las Vegas, Orlando, or Tampa starting at $49. It's time for a weekend getaway or a long overdue week away. Time to check in using the convenient Breeze app and check out. What are you waiting for? Book today at flybreeze.com. That's flybreeze.com. Breeze Airways. Seriously nice.
Back.
Too furious. I'm too fast for y'all, man. Too fast. Too furious.
Now that I think about it, the vacation we had was just marvelous.
I mean, when you think about it,
we did nothing. I mean, we lay on the beach. Basically, we almost took a cruise, just kind of hung out.
Moved an entire building.
Yeah, moved an entire building, lived underneath tables for about 3 or 4 days.
No, you did that.
Yeah, then we also were in the ceiling for about 3 or 4 more days.
I did that the most, though.
We hung heavy things on the walls. I mean, it's vacations, man.
We also flexed our whole group of amazing coworkers. I mean, we got to see all of our friends. We got to see. I forgot all their names already.
What are you talking about?
No. Okay, I got them. Okay, Steve Moulton, Drew DeArmond, Scott Tyson, Robert. There's a whole list of them. All right, there's a whole list of them. It's been so long. We've been out of town.
I love you. I love you. It's been so long. 256-576 4977 Wolverine. Dan, welcome into the Blitz, man. How's it going?
Well, I'm thrilled to death. I can hear you guys talk on the radio. It's been it feels like an eternity without the station on. You got you guys in the morning, and then getting Tom doing his thing and everything in the afternoon. I'm just so grateful that you're back on the air. You guys sound great. I'm glad you got new digs, and it's always nice when you start fresh for something brand new. But along with the greatness that you're back, and I'm happy that you're back. There's always a little negative here and there that you carry with you, and that was your last caller. You got to put up with him
until we get new phone lines.
Yeah, it is what it is. Okay, but listen, and the other thing that you carry over that I'm not crazy about, it's the Patrick Mahomes full of baloney Oscar Mayer hot dog sideline flopper.
They can't keep getting away with this. They just can't keep getting away with this.
He's a flopper, and they want them to win the third one. Okay, I don't really care if he wins it or don't. And guess what, homie? That might be 3 rings for you, but guess what? You got 4 more. Get 4 more, then you can be the GOAT. But you ain't going to get 4 more, bro. Okay. GOAT's the GOAT, and they want to rename the trophy from Vince Lombardi to the Tom Brady, which I'm all about it.
That would be crazy. I honestly,
Belichick
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But I would say this: it would be different. And I know, Joe, you're a Kansas City fan. All right, for whatever freaking reason, you're a Kansas City fan.
I do have a lot of connections to the city. Yes.
If I back up from everything football, I look at it and I'm just thinking, Kansas City, out of all of these teams, Kansas City's the one that's got to be on the next dynasty. You think about it, at least Boston's Boston, with New England, obviously,
have you ever
going
been to Kansas
nonstop.
City?
I've been once, and I think I drove through it. All right, so I didn't actually get to chill.
Amazing city.
I just think about Missouri. I just think about St. Louis. All of that combined. I don't know if that's even close.
Look, and I don't. Dan, like if you look at their the 2 championships or 3 championships that this team has won, you seriously can't sit there and say that this is going to be the number 1 team that this Kansas City Chiefs has ever been put into a Super Bowl. Like you can't. No. So it's another thing that I'm sitting and looking at as like, all right, well, this isn't the best team, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to go out and do what they did last year or 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Like that's just how good this team is. Because again, we talk about a lot of times as, look, this team is not that great, but there's something that they just flip a switch. Ohio State did that this year in football. They were not that great. They lose to Michigan, this, and then they get into the college football playoff.
Come on,
and this is the best team in the country by far.
Not a comparison.
By far, they were the best team in the country.
Ohio State was all season long, and that's because of the talent they had on their team. This was not an Ohio State team that was coming into the season, looking to be just average, mediocre. This was looking to be one of the best teams in all of the country. For Kansas City, they obviously had a little bit of a pass. Their last 2 years, they've been able to go and win the Super Bowl. Now, with this season, everybody's talking about it like it's been a bad team. Oh, it's not the best Kansas City team we've seen. This team still won a majority of their games and only dropped 2 of them. In one of those games, they played all of their third strings. All right, this is a good Kansas City team. I don't care how they win the games. They're winning the games, and they're still making it to the Super Bowl, and they get a rematch against Jalen Hurts, and I like that kind of.
I don't like the rematch. All right, you know what team I wanted.
I know.
It's still not over yet. Still not over yet. Okay, there's a lot of football left in the coming years. It was so awful that you guys were on the air and just listening to it's called a routine, gentlemen.
Yeah.
When you get this age, you have a routine. As a matter of fact, I'm fixing to go bust a workout. How many guys can tell you that the 66 years old still busting a workout? Well, I can because I'm freaking Wolverine Dan. All right, period. Now, with that said, I was so depressed. I'm not listening to local sports radio. I went out and bought me a ping driver.
What's a pin driver?
Ping.
A ping.
Like a
It's
golf.
it's
The golf
it's
thing.
It's a brand of golf.
Yeah.
club.
And it's getting warmer too. So I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, a 340 Z, I think, or something like camera. I got the head cover. Anyway,
I like the 350Z.
And I asked the guy. I said, "I'm getting older." He said, "Well, this is good for seniors. It gives you a whole lot of distance." And sure enough, I was on the drive range, gentlemen. 12 balls in a little bucket they gave me. Go out and hit these things. Every one of them down the middle and crushed them. Every one.
Wouldn't expect anything less from you, honestly.
Yeah, well, you know what? No less is for me. But guess what? Old Timmy and my buddy Badger Larry, be prepared. Ass whooping's coming.
There you go. Declare.
All right,
You
gentlemen.
just declare
I
war.
enjoyed it. Thank you. Oh, by the way, I got your certificate in the mail. These guys pay up when they owe you. This station, these gentlemen, pay up. They send it in the mail, and thank you very much for doing that.
Anytime, Wolverine Dan, man. Enjoy that and enjoy the new golf club, bro. All right, 256-576-4977 gets you in on the Blitz on this Friday, which is kind of strange being that this is our first day on the air this week. But we've got everything going, and as you can hear as John is going, that we have phone calls going and phone lines open as well for you.
Yes, sir. We're heading over to Dennis. Dennis, how you doing today, man?
Guys, how y'all doing today?
Dennis.
Joe Hunk, how you doing, man?
I'm fantastic.
Yeah, we was talking off the air yesterday, but your connection cut off. I got to ask you something, man. A and W Wrestling. Did you have a good time?
I'm not going to lie to you. The first hour was really, really fun. All right, the first hour was really good. Got to see Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega, Jeff Jarrett. You got to see all the matches that I thought any of those matches could have been your main event. But there was a period of time for about a good 30, 45 minutes during that Dynamite where I'm just going, okay, this is just not good. And Dennis, I'll be straight with you, okay? Because a lot of times people don't realize this with AEW. At a lot of locations, they'll film a Dynamite and a Collision at the exact same on the exact same night. So they finish Dynamite up live. They will change all the banner and stuff out, and then they'll go into recording Collision. And Dennis, I'll tell you this though, I know that those shows are two-hour shows in a week, where there'll be one on Wednesday, one on Friday/Saturday.
Right.
But I think the biggest problem that I saw in that was the fact that it felt like it was one big long 4-hour show. And the Mercedes Monet, whatever she's calling herself now, that main event really felt like an intermission main event that you're going to go to before going, because the matches that are going to be coming up for Collision on Saturday night, so much better than what we saw on Wednesday night.
Wait, the main match was the two women fighting?
Yeah, it was.
Oh my gosh! I tuned into that. And I thought it was just one of the side fights.
No. That was the main event. It was the main event. Yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't a good main event. It really wasn't. And I love what AEW is doing. There's a lot of great people with AEW. For those of you the guys that didn't, because we were off the air, we did do a WZZN TV special where Jeff Jarrett and I talked about AEW coming to town. I think his match was tremendous. His story is great. The Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega stories are great. But it's just, you can't treat a 2 or 4 hour show throughout a week that is really two separate shows as one big long show, because it just didn't work. It did. And look, the show got ended at 9, and my little man was already about to fall asleep.
Yeah.
There was no way we were going to be able to stay for collision, so we went ahead and left.
Yeah. I was wondering, Joe, you ever met or talked to Tony Storm or Mariah May in person or not?
I saw them a little bit on Wednesday, just kind of in passing, saying hello to them and all that sort of stuff. I got to meet Tony Khan last year at the Radio Row for the Super Bowl. He and I had a real long conversation on and off the air, as a matter of fact. So I got to meet him there. So obviously we had Jeff on, and I've talked to Jeff numerous times. As a matter of fact, he and I, Dennis, when he and I talked, the first thing we talked about was the first time we met, which was in Montgomery when he was there for the Montgomery Biscuits wrestling night. So it was it was really good to see those guys, and I think that they are building a lot of things. Got to see John Moxley, got to see those types of guys. There's a lot of good things. I just think that right now the storytelling and the design of the show just needs to be different.
Stinky cheese. That's awesome.
Yeah, I understand. I understand about that. I tell you, Joe, before I let you go, one of the things I want to say is that conference expansion, this is in college football, is it dead for now, or are you hearing rumblings of where we go in college football?
Well, I mean, I think that, you've got the conference expansion is going from like the Mountain West and everything, but Dennis, I'll tell you, and this is something I've told Tom a lot as we talked about this is, I know that Tom likes to say that there are, there's really only two Power 5, it's now a Power 2. But honestly, with the way the college football playoff is designed right now, every single conference is kind of on equal footing. I mean, again, you saw it with Boise State. So, now what it's going to be about is the television deals. If you start to have your Boise States, even though they're about to be moving to the Pac-12, you start having those teams that are starting to become big money teams, then you're going to see more conference expansion. Right now, I don't see the point in it a lot when everybody, doesn't matter if you're in the Sun Belt, if you're in the CUSA, or if you're in the SEC, you can all make the college football playoff and you can all be a top seed.
Yeah, I understand. Well, Joe, it's good talking to you. I want both of y'all have a good weekend in the Rocket City. Take care of yourself, sir.
Hey, thanks for that, Dennis. And it was funny because Dennis did call us yesterday while we were getting the phone set up before, because we did on there. And so Dennis and I are talking, and I was like, hey, man, how's it going? And he was asking me about how AEW was Wednesday night. And right when I was about to answer, we tripped over a cord inside the studio, and it unplugged the entire system.
That happened about 18 times, so I don't know which time you're thinking about, but yeah, that happened.
So that was kind of part of that was going. So it was kind of funny with the way that was happening. But it was what also has happened is, John, I don't know if you know or not, but there's a lot of things that have kind of happened over the last 7 days since we did our last show last Friday in the attic. And
we have the Super Bowl set, obviously. I'm trying to think of everything. I know some basketball games. Do you have like a rundown or something set up for me?
I've come up with my own rundown.
Oh,
this isn't everything, obviously, because there's a lot of sports and a lot of things that are happening.
I want to hear everything you got.
But here is everything that has happened.
What did we miss?
Since we did our very last show Friday afternoon and wrapped up at 11 a.m. in the attic. You are correct. All right, here we go. Kansas City and Philadelphia did win their conference championship games. They're going to be playing in the Super Bowl next week. Pretty sure you kind of know about that already.
Go Eagles.
Alabama beat LSU and Mississippi State. Auburn beat number 6 Tennessee, and they beat LSU. Tennessee lost to Auburn and Kentucky. I'm not even halfway done.
It's been tough. It's been tough for Tennessee, though, lately. Again, Tennessee's faced off against a lot of it's the SEC, so it's like anybody's going to be able to beat anybody. But still, this is only a team that's lost 4 games, but those 4 games have all come from SEC play.
The Huntsville Havoc went 1-1-1, and you may not have heard there was a massive fight in Knoxville last Saturday night.
Okay.
May not know about that, but it happened. Just so happened it also happened to be on wrestling night in Knoxville.
Nice.
Kane was there, and they were wearing Kane jerseys. Just saying.
Should have joined in.
We did have the Havoc Hour. That is on WCZN TV. After winning 5 straight games, the Preds have lost back-to-back games to Anaheim and Vancouver. Brett Bielema has called out Jim Harbaugh for leaving college football for the NFL after Michigan said that they are going to challenge all of the stuff that's been going on with, having the guy on the sidelines and Stallions and all of that. Jalen Monroe struggled in Mobile during the Senior Bowl practices. Shocker. He had one good day. The other 2 days, awful. And an ownership group that involves VFL's Peyton Manning, Candace Parker, as well as Tim McGraw and Faith Hill have launched a bid to bring the WNBA to Nashville and to call the team the Tennessee Summit after Pat Summit. On Tuesday, Bill Conley ranked Alabama and Vanderbilt the #1 college football game of the 2024 season.
I mean, I see the argument there. I mean, this was a back-to-back game. It doesn't matter, if you're an Alabama fan or not. If you're watching this game, you were having fun with it.
Justin Tucker decided that he wanted to be like Deshaun Watson.
Oh, yeah, they must have met up. They must have met up. Yeah. He's denying it. He's denying those allegations.
Sure he is.
6 different masseuses, all right? Is that the word? Is that the plural for that?
No.
Masseuses?
Dude, I just want a massage right now. I want a legit massage. I don't want a Justin Tucker or Deshaun Watson massage. I just want a good massage.
That's how it
after
starts,
everything
Joe.
that we've done.
That's how it starts.
No, you can do a good massage without doing their massage.
Look, whenever somebody's career might be on a little bit of a downslope, that's whenever you turn into a Deshaun Watson or Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker missing field goals left and right. Maybe it ties in some ways, just trying to get loose.
Hugh Freeze just said a few days ago that Jackson Arnold is a perfect, pretty, natural fit for Auburn. Because Jackson Arnold's also a loser. Okay. And the Pro Bowl games happened last night, which I don't know a single person that cared anything about them.
Now, look, I just didn't know that the Pro Bowl games were going on, Joe. I made a big deal about them last season whenever it was the first time. People started
a text message and said, you said his name wrong. And I'm like, who? And they said, Justin Tuggers.
Who said that? That's just I can guess. I can take a guess.
Just saying. Okay.
But like I said, if I knew that the Pro Bowl games were going on yesterday and I wasn't busy with everything here,
man,
I would have actually tuned in because it's a fun event.
Look, we're at UAH last night. Spraggins Hall, men and women's took on Lee. All right, men won their game last night. They are the #4 team in the country.
Good Lee team.
They got Trevecca. Oh, Lee was annoying last night. I'm telling you. And I promise you, it felt like if their star player hadn't have fouled out towards the end of the game, it came down to a last-second 3 to tie it. If he would have been on the court and he was the one shooting, that game would have went into overtime. Like it was that close of a basketball game. But UAH won last night. And during the timeouts, because I knew we were doing the show today, I was prepping in between as I was doing the other stuff for replay and all of that. And my timeline was filled up with Pro Bowl stuff. I don't care about the Pro Bowl thing. I don't care about the Pro Bowl games. I don't care about who can spike a football heavier and with more velocity than the others. I don't care about the dodgeball. I don't care about any of that.
But I like it, though. This is what I love about this show, okay?
Yes.
It's so 50-50 split. I like to see the best players in the NFL go up against each other in things that are not football. I do. Now, I do miss the Pro Bowl. I miss the classic Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl where we get to see Brad Hopkins, running through people in Hawaii. That stuff is amazing. But it doesn't exist anymore. They had to change to something more to the times.
Did they do like the kicking tic-tac-toe thing?
They do the kicking tic-tac-toe. They put the kickers, they put players on the golf course.
Take it Justin Tucker wasn't available for that?
Oh, yeah. He did. I don't think he made it this
He was
season.
at tic-tac-toe?
Yeah. He was my fantasy kicker, and I feel terrible. It's all gone downhill. Once I finally get Justin Tucker as my fantasy kicker, he decides to have his worst season of his career. And he also decides to join Deshaun Watson in unholy matrimony. I'll say that. What else happened? Oh, yeah. More, they were throwing footballs yesterday, too. I'm going to be watching it tonight. I just didn't know that it was going on last night, Joe.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Is there really I do not care one thing about it, and this thing got shoved down my throat last night, okay? It's a bad phrase to use with Justin Tucker.
Yeah, especially,
but I could not turn my X feed on without seeing Pro Bowl stuff, and I just didn't care. Only because I didn't, because the games, I only had 30 seconds on during each timeout. to actually look at my phone. If I would have been on X a lot more, I think I would have just went and just blocked hashtag Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Just so that I didn't have to see
It's a great idea.
any of this stuff. Now, the reason I say that is there an event that apparently people want you to be crazy about that you couldn't care less about?
Who
is there an event? Because like for the Pro Bowl games, for me, like I don't care anything about it.
This is tough.
Not at all.
Because you're picking the Pro Bowl games, which is pretty much an all-star game. All right. And they try and, of course, shove it down our throat all the time with this, stuff, all this advertising. Oh, it's the All-Star Week. You got to look forward to it. We have not looked forward to an All-Star Week in forever. I mean, when was the last time you actually thought, I can't wait to watch it, other than the MLB with the home run derby?
Well, the MLB and the home run derby, that one's just a little bit of a different experience. It's definitely going to be better this year because they're letting the players actually wear their uniforms, which look good.
Gosh.
But at the same time, I don't care anything about the Pro Bowl games. And this is somebody that, I mean, I've literally gone to Radio Row and everything for like the last 4 years. And I'm just like, with everything that happens surrounding the Super Bowl, every single thing is 10 times better than watching anything having to do with the Pro Bowl. Like it's just, there's nothing about it. Like I cannot get excited about that event. I mean, look, we all know that ESPN basically was a radio or a channel, a television station that has now just turned into 100% their own marketing. And that's the reason why they basically just covered the sports and the games that are on their channels. Like that's what they are. Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, I'm at least a little bit interested in basketball. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like in college, and I'm reading books now on the NBA just because for some reason I decided to want to go down that avenue. It's actually an interesting book. It's about the Cavs when they won the championship and how the team was built. I thought it was kind of interesting.
I'd say that is interesting.
But at the same time, I don't care anything about like the NBA All-Star game and those types of things, but the event gets shoved down your throat and they're like, you're going to love this.
Okay. So
what would it be for you?
Yeah, for me, I'm going to have to direct it to the phone lines, 256-576.
Don't you cop out. Don't you cop out.
97.7. If you guys want to hop in and answer, what is a sporting event that you look forward to or that people look forward to, but you don't care at all about? There's a few. I will say this. I don't care about the Kentucky Derby until the Kentucky Derby is actually racing, and I will tune in. And I will say this, for the 1 minute that we get to watch this event, it is exhilarating. Another one would probably be, I got to admit, I don't really tune into the Masters. I'm going to be honest. I might watch some, all right? But outside of that, I'm not going to sit through the whole thing unless I'm off and I've just got nothing else to do.
Well, and for myself, like, the Kentucky Derby is the exact thing that taught me why I need to pay attention to when tip-off times are, first pitch times, when the puck drops. I need to know that because, again, going back to the way ESPN is, they will say, Heat and Cavs tonight at 6 p.m. But then in all reality, the game doesn't tip off until 6:30.
Yeah.
So like with the Kentucky Derby, for instance, I want to know what time is called a post. That's when I turn it on. I will set an alarm for about 2 minutes before call to post, and that's when I turn it on. That's the only way I'm watching. With basketball games, You'll even hear me even say it. Like, say, for instance, we've got like a lot of things that are happening this weekend, college basketball.
I'm watching all of it.
Look, tomorrow, legit, here's the rundown for tomorrow. You have Florida and Tennessee, 11 a.m. tomorrow. You have Auburn, Ole Miss at 1 p.m. Alabama and Georgia at 3 p.m. Texas Tech and Houston, which is a 22 versus 6 matchup at 5 p.m. North Carolina Duke at 2 p.m. Or I should say at 5:30. Duke's number 2 team in the country.
Those Blue Bloods, baby.
Number 25 UConn and number 9 Marquette at 7 p.m. last night. You notice that I was giving you those times. I didn't tell you. So Alabama and Georgia, that's going to be a 2 p.m. on 97.7 ESPN Zone because that's when pregame starts.
Yeah. Enjoy that,
3
everybody,
p.m.
by the way.
3:05. That's when tip-off is. That's the reason why you need to know. That's why I do that.
You also missed out on John Calipari's return to Kentucky, right? Arkansas is facing off against Kentucky tomorrow. I mean, we have countless basketball games to look forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, but
I'm going to be watching all of it. But then also got to look forward to the Daytona 500, which I think is it Sunday or tomorrow?
Speaking of events I don't care about.
You don't.
No.
I changed.
Look, I was not going to bring NASCAR into this. I was not. That is my go-to when making fun of things. I was not going to bring NASCAR up in this conversation because I couldn't care an ounce less than what I do about the Daytona 500. I don't.
Oh, am I off by a few? Yeah, I'm off by a minute. It's February 16th. Well, that's how much I don't care about it right now.
No, bull crap. Bull crap.
I thought it was this
and
weekend.
Look at your engine just so that you can see a car engine before the Daytona 500.
What the heck NASCAR is going on right now? Is there something going on NASCAR this weekend?
Name an event that you do not care about that gets shoved down your throat that people are telling you you should 1,000% care for this. 256-576-4977. We continue with the Blitz this Friday morning on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and WZZN TV.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying roll tide and war eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com. And get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
It's time to get ready for game day. That means Alabama football and tailgate. Whether you're tailgating at home or at Bryant-Denny, visit Brooks & Collier for North Alabama's largest selection of premium grills and smokers like Big Green Egg, Blaze, Delta Heat, Memphis, and Traeger. Satisfy any palate with our wall of rubs and seasonings. For all your tailgating needs, visit Brooks & Collier at 813 Meridian Street or at brooksandcollier.com. An Alabama tradition for over 75 years. Roll Tide.
Super Bowl 59 is on Westwood One.
The Eagles are headed to New Orleans. Now the Chiefs are on the doorstep of history, going for a third consecutive Super Bowl.
Hi, everybody. I'm Scott Grant. Join Kevin Harlan, Kurt Warner, Laura Oakman, Gene Steratore, Devin McCourty, and me for all the action right here.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at jetsuperstore.com.
It's time to get ready for game day. That means Alabama football and tailgate. Whether you're tailgating at home or at Bryant-Denny, visit Brooks & Collier for North Alabama's largest selection of premium grills and smokers like Big Green Egg, Blaze, Delta Heat, Memphis, and Traeger. Satisfy any palate with our wall of rubs and seasonings. For all your tailgating needs, visit Brooks & Collier at 813 Meridian Street or at brooksandcollier.com. An Alabama tradition for over 75 years. Roll Tide.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
Everything you need is just a click away.
I should go up sometime soon.
Okay, almost everything.
Come on, I'll tell you a fortune.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. 977 ESPN, The Zone.
Wrapping up the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Joe Hunk, John Abraham coming up in an hour. Tom Abraham and the Tom Abraham Show is going to be coming your way. A unique version of The Drive is going to be happening later on today as well, because Molson's going to be doing that from the VBC, because Steve as well as myself are going to be on the call tonight for Havoc and Quad City.
Fun.
Quad City Storm and Huntsville Havoc, as Huntsville now in second place in the SPHL. And we are going to try to get that to you by going simply to the Havoc Zone and downloading that 97.7 ESPN The Zone app. That's how you're going to be able to watch it tonight or listen to it.
You could also hop over onto 97.7 ESPN.com and also go to the Zone channels and go to the Havoc Zone. On top of that, Joe, I know why I was confused. All right. This weekend, it's not the Daytona 500. What type of dummy would think it's the Daytona 500? It's not even February yet. It's actually going to be the Clash at Bowman Gray Stadium.
What in heaven's name is that?
So Bowman Gray, it was a racetrack that was opened up back in 1937. It's a flat oval, all right? And it's in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You know a little bit about Salem, North Carolina, don't you?
Oh, I do, for witches. Yeah, witches.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I know that way, and that's how we can do it. I've always wanted to go to a Salem witch, no, not a witch trial. I just want to go to the tour of where the witch trials took place. That was about to sound really, really messed up as that was going on. So yeah, no, I know everything about what you're talking about. Absolutely. As we're going on now, coming up as well is that you also have a lot of games happening this weekend, because what we were talking about with Florida, Tennessee, that game is going to be at 11 a.m., not just on ESPN, not just on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, and also not just on ESPN Winchester, is going to be all over that, all three of those at the exact same time. So you can listen to that right here on 97.7. Once that game is over with, you're going to be getting Georgia, Alabama at 3 o'clock.
Nice.
And then once that's over with, then it's North Carolina and Duke.
Oh, man, we got so much basketball this week, and I am very much excited to sit down and just enjoy it all. But we did ask a question, and that question was, what's an event that somebody hypes up all through? It's just getting louder, Joe. It's just getting louder.
Is it really?
But what's something that, you know, the sports world hypes up so much, and then we don't really care too much about? And we do have a caller in. Before we get out of here, we'll get to him. It is Matt. Matt, you have an answer for us. What do you got, man?
Hey, guys. Yeah, I'm actually going to do it two ways if I can. On the flip side, what's an event that I love that I think nobody else in the world cares about? I've got to say the Winter X Games. I set my calendar every year to watch those skiers and snowboard guys on that super pipe. I don't know why I love it. I know nobody else does, but I really like that one.
No, I'm with you on that. That's how I actually wanted to learn how to snowboard was because of Winter
I
X.
feel like I have not seen the Winter X Games in
Winter
forever.
X legit.
It is.
Should be coming up.
They cut the events way back. They only have a few now, and it's only on from like 10 until midnight our time, so it's kind of hard to
Gotcha.
watch.
All right, Matt, we got a few more seconds. So, what's the event that you don't care anything about?
For me, I have to say it's going to be UFC. Not that I don't like.
Oh,
watching, but I
thank
get
you.
tired of every time I open it up, that ESPN app to look at a sports score, they're trying to get me to buy the pay-per-view fight that next week, and I just drives me crazy.
I feel that.
Thank you.
All right, we appreciate you, Matt,
Yeah,
and
thank you guys.
I
Appreciate
agree
ya.
with that. I agree with that. All right,
Absolutely.
we'll take a 20.
Breaking news. This fighter I've never heard of just lost a match I didn't care about.
We'll be back
Isn't
tomorrow.
the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead, ran away, and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
You don't have to go somewhere else just so you can go somewhere new.